The internet is on fire, with one question that could change everything we thought we knew about the most carefully protected dynasty in pop culture. Word is spreading that Beyoncé is devastated after court papers allegedly confirmed Kelly Rowland's son Titan is not who the world believed him to be. The whispers say he is actually the biological child of Jay-Z. If true, it's not just a family scandal. It's a betrayal so deep it could split apart friendships that begin in childhood, unravel the foundation of Destiny's Child, and send cracks through Beyoncé's carefully polished image as untouchable, unshakable, and above it all. We're talking about a secret that, if exposed, could rewrite 2 decades of music history, love stories, and public devotion with one shocking twist. Imagine the impact on Beyoncé, a woman who has built her entire empire on the narrative of loyalty, strength, and control. She has stood by Jay-Z through publicized affairs and messy confessions. But this, the idea that her best friend, her so-called sister, carried a child that belongs to her husband, that isn't just scandal, it's shattering. We've been told that behind closed doors, Beyoncé is reeling, that she feels the walls of her private kingdom caving in. Court documents, the kind we are told should have stayed buried forever, reportedly surfaced and sparked the online frenzy. Screenshots and snippets leaked, their contents immediately feeding speculation that Titan's parentage was the family's darkest secret. Whether authentic or not, the damage is already being done, because the suggestion alone cuts at the heart of Beyoncé's carefully curated image. The internet didn't waste a second before jumping on what they see as evidence hiding in plain sight. Side-by-side images of Titan and Jay-Z began circulating like wildfire. The comparisons, framed with captions claiming the similarities, are undeniable. The jawline, the nose, even the subtle expressions that echo Jay-Z's younger photos. It's enough to send fans into a spiral. Some insist the resemblance is too strong to ignore. Others argue it's coincidence. But the debate has turned viral. We've all seen this before. When the public decides a resemblance proves the unthinkable, it's nearly impossible to put that genie back in the bottle. And for Beyoncé, who lives in a world where every image is curated, every photo released with intention, having her husband's face mirrored in her best friend's son becomes a storyline she can't control. Adding fuel to the storm, people have started revisiting Kelly Rowland's 2013 track Dirty Laundry. At the time, the song was praised for its raw vulnerability, its confessions of abuse and struggle. But now, fans are dissecting the lyrics through a new lens, suggesting that Kelly was dropping hints all along about a secret love triangle. Lines about betrayal, manipulation, and hiding truths in plain sight are being interpreted as coded messages. Was Kelly using music to vent her turmoil while masking it as metaphor? Did we all miss what she was really saying because the truth felt too outrageous to consider? Industry insiders point out how often artists lace reality into their work. And in this case, the resurfacing of Dirty Laundry feels like a breadcrumb trail people were never meant to follow until now. And then there's the money trail. Rumors claim Jay-Z has been quietly sending payments to Kelly's family since 2014, the very year Titan was born. That detail has exploded online, with fans speculating whether these were generous godfather gestures or calculated hush funds designed to keep a dangerous truth from spilling. The timing raises every possible eyebrow. If Jay-Z was sending regular sums, how much did Beyoncé know? Was she complicit in the silence, or was this a betrayal unfolding right under her nose for nearly a decade? The thought of Queen Bee, the most in-control figure in music, being blindsided in her own home is almost unthinkable. Yet, that's exactly why the rumor has such power. It plays into the fear that even the strongest can be brought down from within. This revelation doesn't exist in a vacuum. Jay-Z has a documented past of messy entanglements and unresolved scandals. He's admitted to stepping out on Beyoncé before, famously using music as therapy when their marriage nearly collapsed. Entire albums, hers and his, were built around confession and recovery. But if Titan really is his son, that narrative shifts from a story of marital survival to something far darker. A long-running deception, not just against his wife, but against the woman Beyoncé has always called her sister. How do you recover from that kind of betrayal? We're not just talking about a marriage at stake here. We're talking about the eraser of Destiny's Child's legacy as a sisterhood built on loyalty and unity. Fans who grew up idolizing their bond now wonder if every smile and every embrace on stage was hiding an unbearable truth. People are revisiting old interviews with Kelly too, like the time she left a dinner with Beyoncé and Jay-Z in tears, offering no explanation. At the time, fans chalked it up to overwhelming emotions, the nostalgia of their bond. But in the current climate, it's being reframed as a possible crack in the facade. A moment where the weight of secrets became too heavy for Kelly to mask. Every cryptic look, every red carpet run-in with Jay-Z that went viral is now being analyzed for hidden meaning. Did Jay-Z's stunned reaction when he bumped into Kelly at that premiere really show sibling warmth? Or was it the awkward shock of facing someone tied to a truth he's tried to bury? And then there's the brutal irony. Just months ago, Kelly was singing Jay-Z's praises after he called out the Grammys for snubbing Beyoncé. She told reporters, "Sean Carter is one of the greatest men I know, and his words ring so loud to me." Now that statement is being replayed with a sinister undertone. Was she protecting him? Covering for him? Or was she simply speaking as a loyal friend, blissfully unaware that her praise would someday echo in a scandal she never asked for? The internet, of course, doesn't let coincidences slide. The quote has become yet another piece of the puzzle, fueling theories about how deep the bonds and the betrayals might run. If Jay-Z truly has been funneling secret payments since Titan's birth, it raises an even more pressing question. Has Beyoncé been aware all along, quietly absorbing this storm to protect her brand, her children, her empire? Or is she discovering this the same way the rest of us are through whispers and leaked papers? Either scenario paints a devastating picture. If she knew, she has been living a performance more intricate than any tour choreography, maintaining the illusion of perfection while privately enduring betrayal. If she didn't, then Beyoncé, the woman who taught us all about control, has been blindsided in the most personal, humiliating way possible. And either way, the silence from everyone involved only thickens the air with tension. What happens to Destiny's Child if this rumor refuses to fade? Their legendary image as sisters united against the world is already splintering under speculation. Beyoncé, Kelly, and Michelle built a brand on friendship and loyalty, a bond that outlived chart battles and solo careers. But if Jay-Z is tied to Titan, the nostalgia can never be the same. Fans who once saw them as untouchable role models are now asking whether Destiny's Child was a storybook cover hiding a very different reality behind the scenes. And for Beyoncé, who has positioned herself as the queen of modern pop royalty, this isn't just about music. It's about legacy, marriage, motherhood, and whether the empire she built can withstand secrets that feel too big to bury. And when we step back from the chaos of Titan's rumored paternity, a darker pattern begins to emerge, one that fans and critics alike are revisiting with a fresh lens. Jay-Z has never been a stranger to whispers about secret children and hidden liaison. Years before Titan's name ever entered the conversation, there was the saga of Remier, a young man who fought for years in court, claiming that Jay-Z was his biological father. The case dragged through appeals, with Ramier insisting he had been stonewalled by legal maneuvering and financial power. At the time, many dismissed it as opportunism. But in the wake of the Titan revelations, those old headlines are resurfacing, being stitched together into a larger narrative that suggests Jay-Z's empire was built not only on music and business acumen, but on an ongoing ability to bury personal scandals before they took root. Fans are already predicting that if Beyoncé does respond, it will be seismic. A visual album drenched in symbolism, a cryptic lyric dropped into a performance, or perhaps a sudden shift in her public alignment with Jay-Z. After all, Lemonade didn't just give us music. It gave us cultural moments, catchphrases, memes, and an entire movement of women re-examining their own relationships. Imagine the impact if she were to do the same about betrayal within her own family circle. The cultural explosion would be unmatched, shaking not just the music industry, but the very idea of celebrity loyalty and image management. What we're left with is a storm of speculation, unanswered questions, and an empire wobbling on its throne. If Titan's paternity is truly linked to Jay-Z, then the Cardinals' dynasty is facing its greatest test yet. Can Beyoncé forgive a betrayal this layered? Can Destiny's Child ever be remembered the same way again? And perhaps the most haunting question of all: how long has this secret been hiding in plain sight? And who among their inner circle helped keep it buried? So, we have to ask you, do you believe this is the scandal that finally cracks Beyoncé's empire wide open? Or is it just another rumor that will be swept away by silence and spectacle? Drop your thoughts below, because this story is far from finished. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the biggest secrets are the ones hidden right in front of all.